How's it going? Good to see everyone today. Turn that off for a little better lighting. There we are. Sonic Lucero, what's up, man? Mac and cheese hype. Heck yeah. That's what we are making today. So we had a big donation last week, $28 from Kathy Lee. Thank you so much. We have achieved our first $50 goal. So with that, we will probably do another stream this week. The thing is, we need to find out what we're going to stream, what we're going to cook. But today, we are going to make macaroni and cheese with a tri-tip roast and candied bacon. It's going to be delicious. So, to get started, as you see, we got both cameras going there. So, over here, I got started early just to get going. Basically, what we got is a double boiler. We're going to be making our cheese sauce today. So, a double boiler when doing a cheese sauce is crucial to the process. If you don't have one, this isn't a real double boiler. This is just a really big pot with a lot of water, with another pot sitting on top with a lid. If you don't have something like that, I also built to show you guys. Let's see, oh, I got my camera switched up here. I know. I couldn't figure out why my cameras in the prep cam, they registered differently today. So, anyways, if you don't have a double boiler, you can take some of the lids from your different mason jars and throw them at the bottom of a bigger pot, put a smaller pot in it, and then you can fill it up with water. The key is to not have the bottom touch the bottom of the other pan to keep separation. That way you can keep a constant temperature. But we are going to use that in a moment. Also, for our tri-tip, I have a cast iron graded grill-like piece. You get this thing ripping hot, and you can basically indoor grill. It's a Lodge one. They sell for like $33. Again, yard sales, $5. Best thing in the world. So, to get started, I've been trying to debate all day kind of how I wanted to go about how we're getting started. So we got the water going for this. So I guess let's get the cheese going in there, because that's going to take a while to melt down and break down. The steak will be relatively quick. The bacon, once we get the cheese in, we can get the bacon in the oven, kind of come back. So we're going to kind of play around and have some fun. So I see there's a few of you guys out there. So we like to start off each stream as well with, what did you guys have for dinner? Over the weekend, maybe it was football championship, Sunday football. We had some Doods burgers on Sunday. I made a YouTube video. I don't know if you saw it. It was kind of fun. It's like my second video. But yeah, so did you guys have anything interesting for championship ball, or maybe something good for dinner today, or maybe you're going to go out later this week? Yeah, I'd like to hear what you had. So along with that, let's get started with our cheese sauce here. So I'll switch over to our stove cam, but it is our prep cam. So I have two different knives out today. We're going to be using our butcher knife to cut up our tri-tip, and we're going to be I don't think we're going to be needing this. Oh yeah, I got some tomatoes and a green onion we're going to chop up with our vegetable knife. So we got two different knives, and we're going to play with both of them today. And for starters, for any good cheese sauce, you want to start off with some heavy whipping cream. I also happen to have a little bit of heavy whipping cream left over from the other day, so I'm going to start with that. Always use your oldest stuff in. There's a phrase called FIFO, F-I-F-O. It's first in, first out. Whatever the first ingredients you put into your refrigerator should be the first ones you bring out to use. That way you don't get cross-contamination, or not cross, but you don't get your dates mixed up and everything. Sorry, my stove likes to beep when it's ready. So I was just preheating the stove. We got that preheated to 400. That's going to be our bacon. Thomas, cream cheese and chive pierogies. That sounds delicious. Did you have a sauce with that? Was it like a cream sauce, or was it a tomato-like sauce? That sounds And did you make it, or did you go somewhere awesome? I know in the Pittsburgh area, you can get it, out in that Pittsburgh area, there are some fantastic places to get some pierogies. Let me tell you what. A little jealous you got to go out and hit some of those up, actually. That sounds amazing. So next on our list is I got some cheeses for us. When making a cheese sauce, it's also a fantastic thing to get rid of a couple of cheeses in your thing. Because you're always going to, anytime you make a cheese sauce, you're going to need to get a big bag of cheese, right? But it requires a lot of cheese, so if you happen to have, you know, a little bit of cheese left over from a pack in your fridge, you know, or whatever, feel free to pull that out and use it now. That way you can use just melted butter, made it yourself. That just, oh, that sounds so good. We have to do something like that. So yeah, so we got our cheese. Nope, kind of thing. And so I got a little special treat for our cheese sauce today. I kind of went a little all out for us. So we got a little Gruyere and a little Chipotle Gouda. I like spicy, I like Chipotle. The thing with the Gruyere and the Gouda is it's a really gooey cheese. So it'll help make our cheese sauce gooier is the plan. Sonic Lucero, I had fried pork chops. Fried pork chops. That sounds good as well. I love fried pork chops. So the fried pork chops, did you make them yourself? Did you get them somewhere? Local place, local good place, chain place, it really don't matter. We just all like good food. So this is our hot, it's not too hot yet, but this is our double boiler pan for the evening. So what we'll start off with first is we're going to put the last of this heavy cream in there. And then we're going to go with our 1 quart jug. Since that was a nice splash, we won't have to use this whole one. Come on, open up. Why mild cheddar, not sharp? Too powerful? No, it's not that it's too powerful. I love a good sharp cheddar cheese. A sharp cheddar cheese on my crackers, with ham, stuff like that. But when doing grilled cheese sandwiches and consequently when doing macaroni and cheese and using cheddar, a sharper cheddar has, I believe, it's a lower pH. So because of that, a sharper cheddar will break down more in when you heat it up and melt it. It'll separate more. You'll get more of the oils. It'll get a little more lumpier. If you notice, like some of that sharper cheddar, when it melts, it kind of gets like looks gritty. It's not gritty, but it looks gritty. You know, that's it breaking down. You know, a mild cheddar and a medium cheddar, it has a higher pH, I believe it is, and because of that, it will not separate as much, so it will help be a little more gooier and a little stringier, as opposed to milkier and broken, I guess would be the word. But yeah, there is a science behind it. Gouda cheese, apparently it's like 5.5 is the pH level for like perfect melting cheese, and I guess 5.5 is where your Goudas, it's where your Gruyères, it's where those kind of sit, and your mediums are a little bit below that, but your sharps are a lot more, and they break down a lot more. And so in a cheese sauce, you don't really want breakdown. So did I explain that well enough? I think. I hope. I think it makes sense. I'm not a scientist, but I do try to understand and know what I am working with to a degree, and why. And I'm a very curious person. I always like to know why things do what they do. So I try to learn stuff like that, and we can always delve deeper into those questions as well, and I can look more information up for later. But yeah, that's the primary reason why I use a mild cheddar for this. Now what you could do is, if you wanted to get really fancy, is you could get a mild cheddar to do your cheese sauce meltdown, and then shred a sharp cheddar and use the sharp cheddar as a garnish on top. So after you make your mac and cheese, sprinkle your sharp cheddar over top, and then you can get away with it and you won't break it down and whatnot. So we're going to put a nice amount in here to start. Most of this bag, this is a 2-pound bag of shredded, to give you an idea what we're working with here. So I'm going to move this over to, one of these days I'll get a camera guy. So we got that on top. What I also have is I have a little plastic spoon for us, and our good buddy Draco donated a little spatula. I didn't have a rubber spatula for scraping stuff with, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna, be nice to have a spatula to work on with this for, you know. And so en route he managed to grab us and hook us up with a spatula. So thank you, Draco. It's greatly appreciated of you. And the speediness of the delivery. I mean, my God, man. The guy's quick. Alright, so we got our cheese with the heavy cream in there. We have our 2 harder cheeses, or our rock cheeses here. We're going to put them in at the very, very end. We're going to make sure everything's nice and hot and nice and melted. And we'll put butter in. We'll put that in. Actually, we should probably put a little bit of butter in right now. Maybe. Why not? Sonny, you just got them at the supermarket and breaded them. There you go. Fried pork chops, breaded yourself. That's the way to do it. So we're just going to cut our butter stick. We're just going to use half a stick for right now. I always recommend getting unsalted butter. I never understood the point of salted butter. Maybe it has something for baking. I don't know. I'm not a baker. As I've stated before, I can't bake and don't enjoy it that much. Yeah, when cooking, you always want to use just regular unsalted butter. It allows you to control the amount of salt that you are going to put inside of your dish, especially when you're doing things with cheese and whatnot. Cheese is already pretty salty as is. So the next thing we're going to do here is switch over to our, well, it's our prep cam, but it says stove cam because my laptop can't tell which one is which all the time. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to bring out our little baking sheet right here. So with our baking sheet, we're going to lay out some bacon. And we're going to cook the bacon in the oven. I really enjoy baked bacon in the oven. It cooks more, when you're cooking a lot of it, you can cook usually more at a time than in a pan. And I got a nice big stack of bacon because everybody loves bacon. That's why I use unsalted butter too, Kathy Lee. Yeah, that's the best reason to use unsalted butter. Just so you can manage how much you want to use. And so then, back to the bacon, it's when you have it all spread out like this in your oven, and you have a mostly good working oven. I know a lot of people's ovens are iffy on exact temperatures. Sometimes left side cooks better than the right side, or the back side better than the front side. And, but this allows it all to cook evenly for the most part, and then you don't have to worry about certain parts frying hot in the pan, and you have to use up more pan space. As you see, we're going to be using up a good amount of our stove too. I know there's only 2 burners there, but we're going to be using a 3rd burner in the back to cook off our noodles. So, I don't know, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strips of bacon. That should be pretty good, huh? Put my bacon in the oven on a stone. Oh yeah, see, that would be great. I don't have a stone, but if I did, yeah. Stones are very nice for baking with pizzas and stuff like that. Bacon, letting the heat go all the way through, cook it even more evenly than the sheet tray in the pan. And that bacon grease probably helps season that stone really, really nicely for when you make a pizza. You know, you bake your bacon off in the morning, and then cook your pizza in the evening, and have a really nice crust. So we got our bacon here. We're going to switch over to here. We're going to put our bacon in the oven. We're gonna set our timer here for about 15 minutes now. I always like to check early on bacon. I don't like to burn my bacon, so I'm gonna set it for 13, just for safety. Plus we talk and get into stuff, so we'll just make sure. So we got this heating up. Give it a little mix. Now, another thing to note when dealing with cheese sauce and double boiler, when you make potatoes, when you boil potatoes, and when you boil potatoes and you make noodles and whatnot, you always want to put salt in your water to increase the cooking temperature, right? That way it cooks your noodles faster and all that fun jazz, or cooks your potatoes faster and whatnot, right? Well, when you're doing a double boil, the idea is to maintain a lower constant temperature. So you wouldn't necessarily want to put your salt inside the water that's heating up for your cheese and for your cheese sauce, because you don't want a real hot temperature. You just want a nice warm, let everything melt and get gooey temperature. So also, while we're doing this, I have this pot here as I demonstrated for another makeshift double boil, but this pot will be used for making our noodles. So, running water there for you. Alright. Crank that up, and then I'm going to get this thing cranking up. We want this to get just ripping hot. You'll probably see smoke coming off of it here shortly, because this is going to get really hot, and we're going to cook our tri-tip on that. And alright, so let's see a little bit of salt in our water for our noodles, because that we do want it in. I'm sorry you can't see it. It's on the back burner here. It's just water for boiling noodles, so it's not much interesting, so that one can stay back there. The cheese sauce is interesting because we're going to keep coming back to this and playing with it. We got our chunk of butter. And this pan is also our interesting one. There's my little spoon holder. Fancy, huh? I know, high class. Alright. So, let's switch over to our table here. So what I had is almost a 1.5 pound tri-tip roast. Tri-tip is a fantastic cut of meat. It's nice and fatty, it's nice and juicy and flavorful. It's very tender, it's a very tender cut of meat. Yeah, it makes great steaks, it makes great roasts, it makes all kind of stuff. In this sense, it will work as a steak. We're going to kind of use it as an oversized steak / roast. Primarily, if we get this hot enough and we do it right, usually I'd cook this on the barbecuer, and so doing it on this will be a little different for me today. So we're going to just see how it goes. We're going to try and grill it on there first, and then put it in the oven. See how that works. So I took the liberty to marinate it earlier this afternoon. Get a nice marinade on it. What I use is, and I will put a picture on Facebook for it, is I used Worcestershire, molasses, soy sauce, tapatio sauce, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a splash of balsamic vinegar. And then I took a fork and stabbed it a few times with a fork, just to help the juices soak into there a little quicker. If you let it soak overnight, you don't really have to do that. If you want a little bit of a quicker marinade, you can go ahead and stab it a couple times. Since we're not using it for steaks, really, So here's our beautiful cut of meat. I'm gonna lay this out here for you guys. And this is our tri-tip. Got the grain going like here. If you were to cut steaks off of this bad boy, you would cut them like that. The reason you cut against the grain, when you cut steaks, if this were a loin for steaks, you would cut against the grain, because that way when you go to chew it and you have a thinner piece and all the grain running the same way, it's basically like taking little niblets out, right? But if you cut it with the grain, you're going to end up with these long stringy pieces that are going to be tougher. So against the grain helps make your meat more tender when you eat it. When you're making like jerky, you bite into that jerky and it's that real hard, tough pull. That's because you go with the grain to get that nice, harder jerky going. So for tenderness, you always want to cut against it. You want to find which way your grain is going and cut against it. But in this case, we're going to grill this bad boy off. So I just wanted to take it out of its marinade and kind of show you what we're working with here. And we're going to move this guy over to our stove area. Ooh, stuff's getting really hot. Nice. Let's see what we got here. Yep. Tongs. And switch cameras. So if we do a stream later this week, for Wednesday I have a plan to do the $10 Wednesday. We'll do probably baked ziti. But if we do a third stream this week, do you guys have any suggestions of anything that you would like to see made or you would like to see done that we can kind of play around with? While you guys think about that, we're going to come back over here to our cheese sauce and our... Ooh, it's getting nice and warm. It's boiling real good underneath there. Getting a good boil. Alright, so... I'll take a little bit of... let's use a little butter, why not? We just need a little bit of oil. A little grease on there. Oh, she's hot. And we'll take this nice guy. You're probably going to get some smoke in that camera. So. Now what else I have here is my next door neighbor, good old Timmy, grows a bunch of cooking herbs in the summertime. And what he did this past summer was took the cooking herbs, cilantros and green onions, garlic, things of that nature. Combined it with salt. He grew thyme. He grew some rosemary. He grew all kinds of stuff. And so then he takes all of it, combines it all together with salt, and bakes it off in the oven. And it comes out in these hard chunks. And then you just kind of grind it up and crush it up. And you have a homemade seasoning fresh from the garden. Is this not awesome or what? He just gave this to me tonight. I was just talking to him and he's like, dude, you should check this out. And it tastes fantastic. It tastes so fresh. It's just all your summer herbs from your garden smashed up and baked. So I just wanted to show you that. We're going to put a little bit out on our steak. Just wanted to explain how that came about. So back to our tri-tip over here. We'll dig into our special seasoning blend. Kind of sprinkle a little bit of that over top. Alright, let's give her a flip. Look at those perfect grill marks. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll hold it up better to the camera, need be, but we got some nice grill marks going on there. And it just smells fantastic. Just fantastic. We'll go back to our boil. Butter's melting, and you're starting to get a little meltier in there. Now when you make your cheese sauce, you want to do your seasoning in the sauce at the very end, because you want to be able to taste the sauce as a whole. If you start seasoning it now and tasting it now, not all the cheese is melted, not all the butter is melted, you're not going to get a full understanding of the flavor of your sauce. So it's very important to let that melt before you season it up. So what else we got here? We're going to move this out of our way. Pour a little marinating on top. Marinara. So good. Smelling so good. Bring our macaroni over here. have to open some windows in here. That thing's smoking me out. That is one thing about grilling, doing stuff like this inside, is that you end up with a little bit of a smokier area. So we got some beautiful lines right there. We're going to let her we're going to grill off each side like that. When we get to our last side, we're going to stuff it in the oven. And it'll be a nice spot for it to cook. If you're just joining us, I see a couple people just joined. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're making tri-tip macaroni and cheese. Right now we got our tri-tip cooking, about a pound and a half. It's just smelling and looking so good right now. We're going to switch over to our cheese. Give it a little stir. Butter's melting. Cheese is starting to melt. Look at that. Oh boy. We're getting there. I'm excited. Ooh. And our steak is getting up my nose here, so if I sneeze here a couple times, excuse me. Ooh. And if you also just joined us here recently, I always like to ask people who are joining, what did you have for dinner this weekend or today? If you're not a chatty person, that's cool too. But if you'd like to join us in chat, what did you have today? Got our bacon cooking in the oven. So what we're going to do here, I don't have an oven cam to bring down to see in the oven for you, but we'll work on it. What we're going to do is flip this guy now. So you got the grill lines going this way, so just pick her up and flip her that way so you get your perfect cross marks. I don't know if you can see that up there. You got some perfect grill marks. Just smokier and all hell. Looking good. Just I'm gonna have to get some better lighting too, because you can't really see in our cheese pot very well, can you guys? We'll be improving this. I got a couple things ordering here pretty soon. I'm streaming and doing all of this off of my laptop at the moment. That's why that one camera in the corner is a little square, which is a little laptop cam. And so what I'm going to be working on is getting some USB extenders and be able to run everything off my main computer. Alright, so that's going to be about good. You can feel it. It's nice and soft and squishy still on the inside. Pretty raw. So at this point, what we would like to do is throw her in the oven. Cast iron skillets. There's our buzzer for our bacon. Turn that up. Our bacon's not quite ready yet, as you can see there. It's not quite done. We're going to keep that in the oven, let that keep baking, and then we're going to add our tri-tip inside there as well. I don't think I have a lid for it. I do. Can you come put this on top? Sure we can. Got a makeshift lid. That'll kind of work. Pour our noodles up to our front burner. This cheese sauce, guys. See how our water is doing? You always want to check your water that's boiling underneath. Part of why we have a nice big pot here for our double boiler is so that we don't have to worry too much about running out of water. It'll stay nice and full for us. Since that's getting a nice meltdown, I'm going to come over here to our fancy specialty cheeses. Shout out the extra buck for just because I'm going to eat this tonight and it's going to just be so good. Alright. So Gruyere, that's really... So I set my cameras up to be all nice and focused before I do this. And they randomly go out of focus. So, because let's see here. If I just turn it a little bit, turn it a little bit, turn it a little bit. See, now, when I started the stream today, I had done all that, and it was nice and pretty like that. for some reason it just goes out of focus. So let's start with our Gouda, because it's a Chipotle Gouda, and I was pretty excited about that because I'm a big fan of Chipotle. Open her up here. That smells good. That tastes good. So what we're going to do is, since it's on a big block like this, I'm trying to melt it down. We're going to slice it up into some strips. So good. So good. Probably use a different knife. I'm trying to think about it. I do. You know what? If I can find it, I think I have a little cheese knife. Cheese cutting knife. Not that it matters because that other one works fine, but cheese knife is nice to have sometimes. It's a little easier on your finger. Oh, I got this other little contraption too. My mom loves this stuff. She has so many gadgets. It's amazing. Anytime you go and cook in her kitchen, it's just like, what gadget do you need today? Oh, here it is. And it's just there, like everything. It's amazing. So, here's my cheese knife. This is a little mini butcher knife, right? It's awesome. This fun thing, on the other hand, yeah, so it's a little cutting board with a little knife. And I haven't really used it that much. Oh, get down. Look at that. You can just cut it. Oh, man. I've never really used it. I don't even know where it came from. I think my girlfriend got it for something, or somebody gave it to us, or whatever. But I tell you what, if you don't own one of these, go get one. It's a pair of scissors with your knife blade and a cutting board. And, I mean, you can just sit here and cut cheese all day. This is amazing. So I was going to use this because this is a nice little one for, you know, cutting up cheese when you need to, like that too. So it's not a bad knife. I love knives. Knives are fun to play with. Got all types of knives. But my word, this thing, my phone just going off. Checking back. Just cut right into that thing. Opens right up. Man, that's a cool knife cutter. Cheese cutter. I can't believe I had this and didn't even realize it. You just sit there, cut your cheese nice and small. Convenient. Man, I like it. Get down. I like that cutting board knife. Yeah, Kathy Lee. Yeah, I know, right? Do you have one of these? Is this a kitchen gadget that maybe you don't have? Because I know you got everything in the world. And this thing, I tell you what, look at this. Like, this is a pretty thick piece of cheese, and I mean, you gotta kind of put like a little bit of a, you know, it's a cut. But I mean, this thing, God, for cutting cheese. I mean, look, you can cut. Let's see if we can get up here on the screen. So you can see maybe a colorful piece so you can see a little better in light. You just sit there and just cut as thin of pieces as you want. Chop, chop. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little cheese knife cutter, and you can pretty much use it for any kind of vegetables, really. I would best use it for cheese, but I've never seen. Yeah, I like I said, I honestly don't know where it came from. Yeah, like, it's super cool. But I highly recommend them, that's for sure. So let's switch over to here where we got water boiling for our macaroni and cheese. Or our water, yeah, duh. Water boiling for our noodles. So I got a pound of large elbow macaronis. I like elbow macaronis. It's just me. You can use penne, you can use any kind of noodle you absolutely heart desires. I just happen to choose the elbow noodles because when I think macaroni and cheese, I think from being as a kid, it's elbow noodles. You know, penne noodles are also a favorite of mine. I also add a little bit of vegetable oil to the water just to help keep it loose. Another thing with your noodles, always make sure you are stirring them. You don't want them to get stuck and burned. Better find me one. Alright, Kathy Lee, I will find you one of those. I will do the best I can to find you one of those. Because, yeah, it is, I highly recommend it. It's super cool. Oh, look at this cheese sauce. Mmm. You see that gooiness? Let's see. If I turn... oh, it got super dark. Can you see it better, maybe? Actually, I don't know. What do you prefer? The light on, this light on, or this light off? Nice and cheesy. Lucero, elbows are best for mac and cheese, in my opinion. Yeah, Sonic Lucero. That's kind of how I personally feel. If you're not going to use the elbow noodles, the longer penne noodles, I also am acceptable with those. But yeah, for the most part, you gotta go with the elbow noodles. And grab a strainer out of here and get that on deck. Noodles boiling good, cheese boiling good. I want to check. Oh, that's right. I put that big thing on top. All right. Oh yeah, we got bacon cooking in here. Oh shoot, it turned off. That's right, because when the timer goes off, it automatically turns itself off. Cool. That's right, it's super hot. Alright. It's cooking really good. Everything's cooking nice. We're going to start adding our other cheeses to our pan here. Got a good boil going in there. Turn these noodles down a little bit. Make sure you keep a stir on them so they don't burn to the bottom. Alright, I'm going to grab another plate here. Throw our cheeses. Alright. So we got our Gouda and our Gruyere. And we're going to add this to our cheese up here. To our cheese sauce. We're going to add it a little bit at a time because it's getting nice and gooey. So we're going to see exactly how much we need. It just looks so good, guys. Like, I'm going to use all that. We got a little extra on the side here just in case we need some more. And with all that, we're going to add a splash more of our heavy cream. Just to help liven it all up for fun. Okay. That is melting down so nice, guys. Oh, look at that. Just so gooey. So gooey. That is the plan. Noodles are going good. Should be just about done. It does look good. Yeah, thank you, Kathy Lee. Yeah, it does. It's smelling even. A lot of people, when they do homemade mac and cheese, and when they think of homemade mac and cheese, the first thing that comes to mind is Velveeta, liquid gold diggers. You know, but I'm not the biggest fan of Velveeta. Like, I don't mind it. I'll use it. But if you're making a dish to impress somebody, or making just a nice dish, or you just want something really good, it's best just to go ahead and break down your own cheeses and make your own. It might cost $10 more than Velveeta, but you know what? It's so much more worth it. And then, you know, like when your buddy's like, "Hey man, I have mac and cheese," it's either the Kraft Mac, and you're like, "Oh, that's cool," you know, everybody's fine with that, whatever, or it's Velveeta. So doing it this way just adds that little extra. Oven's doing good, baking off nice. Cool, we're almost there for that. Grundy McButters, hello, how are you? New to the stream, good to see you. What we're making here today is mac and cheese. We got a tri-tip roast that we grilled off in the oven. I'm cooking off some bacon, making some candied bacon. Sonic, I really enjoy Velveeta, but nothing beats homemade. Yeah, you know, it's not that I hate Velveeta, you know, I'll eat it. You know, but when you're talking about good homemade stuff, like what's really disappointing is when you go to a restaurant and you order macaroni and cheese at a restaurant and you get served Velveeta, and you're like, guys, this is a restaurant. Like, I can microwave Velveeta at home, you know. So that's when I get really bummed out about it. When you're there's a restaurant here up the street, and they make a macaroni and cheese, and it's a good one too. I don't know how they do it, but they do a pretty solid job with it. Woo! Our thing's not totally level. We almost lost it. Let's keep this thing up straight. Nice and flat. Careful with it. Look at this gooey, delicious cheese. Still some big chunks in there waiting to melt down. It's getting there. I think now, though, it would be safe to taste test it. Just because I really want to taste test it. I just really want to taste it. Yeah, it tastes like melted cheddar and heavy cream. It's fantastic. Can't go wrong. Our noodles should be almost done. When you do your noodles, you want to make sure you undercook them. You never want to cook your noodles, especially if you're going to bake them in the oven at some point. You never want to cook your noodles to done. You always want to cook them undercooked. The proper term is called al dente, but anytime you say the word al dente, nobody knows what the hell you're talking about, and they're like, what the hell is al dente? And then you have to tell them it's undercooked. So I still don't understand why people use the word al dente, because nobody knows what it means. And then everybody just has to re-explain themselves. Undercooked. So we're not going to call it al dente. We're going to call it undercooked pasta, because that's what it is. And so then we're going to take a little bit of olive oil and just kind of sprinkle a little bit on top. That way it'll help our noodles from sticking. Get that off. We don't want it to get any hotter. We're going to mix our oil up a little bit in there. So that's going to sit right there for a moment. Actually, we're going to set that in the fridge. That way it doesn't continue to cook. You don't want to rinse your noodles off, but you don't want them to continue to cook, because you want them to stay al dente or undercooked. Oh, sweet. I'm thinking of starting up a cooking stream. What do you use to stream? If you're talking about software, I don't know what you mean as what do you use to stream. If you're talking about software, I'm using OBS, Open Broadcast Software. It's the free one that Twitch recommends off of Google. And then yeah, man, just set some cameras up in your house and start cooking. Grand McButters, have you cooked before? Do you have much experience, I guess? Have you cooked in restaurants or whatnot? Or is it just something that you like to do for fun? And are you more of a cook or more of a baker? I'm more of a cook. I can't bake. I'm a really terrible baker. But I really enjoy cooking. I really enjoy computers. And I said, maybe I can combine the two. Alright, our bacon is finally cooking. We turned our oven off on accident, so bacon is much more crisper now. My pan, my container here. We're going to dump our grease out. I keep a side container to dump the grease in. You never want to pour it down the drain. This is going to be used for our candy bacon, so I'm going to set this back just half a sec. Let's see how our roast is doing in there. Let me give her a flip. Inside there. Oh yeah, she's just about done. Yep, so you can see, I don't know if you can see on there, but it's super, super soft there. It's still a nice medium rare. or still rare. I mean, we want to get to a medium rare. Put that back in there. And we're going to bring our bacon over to our prep cam area here. Karim, what's up? Good to see ya. Welcome back. I tried today to do a stream, but from my Xbox, but it wasn't that good. I think I need a computer or laptop. Granny McButters, I cook all the time for fun. I cook and bake. I like cooking more though, and I'm going to go to culinary school when I graduate. Nice, man. Going to culinary school. I did not go to culinary school. I was signed up to go, and then I was going to go to a Le Cordon Bleu program, and then I guess recently Le Cordon Bleu got in trouble for something. I guess their whole program is shut down now or something like that. But yeah, if you're interested in cooking, culinary school is always fantastic. I didn't go. I went to business school and then did some other stuff, but I worked my ass off in a lot of kitchens for a lot of years for a lot of great chefs and a lot of great butchers, and that helps a lot. At Karim, PC is better. Yeah, Karim, if you're streaming from your Xbox, are you using the Xbox One live stream, the integrated live stream, or are you using the Xbox One? Do you have it linked to a capture card to a PC or laptop? I know PS4 has its own integrated live stream to Twitch, but I don't know about the Xbox. And along with that, it's better to use a capture card anyways. Xbox just isn't strong enough on its own. It's honestly kind of a weaker system. So when you're trying to get Xbox to do its streaming and everything else, it already has all of its hardware maxed out with all of its Connect and everything like that. So I would definitely recommend a capture card. And if you're going to computer or laptop, you can use either with a capture card. It really doesn't matter. Preferably you want a computer though. I'm doing this stream right now. I'm running off of a laptop. It overheats on me sometimes. It's pretty stressed, but it works and it gets the job done, and I love it. What is a capture card? Honestly, you're gonna want to Google it. I can't explain it the best because I honestly don't know 100% what it is because I don't have one. What a capture card is though is you hook it up to your computer and you plug your Xbox into the capture card, plug the capture card into your computer, and then plug the capture card into your TV. And so the Xbox is running everything through the capture card, and it's capturing it and putting it onto your OBS system on your computer, allowing you to stream off your computer while you play your game on your Xbox. But I'm not 100% on how. I don't have one and I don't use one, so I would highly recommend Googling that if that's what you're trying to do, and maybe look for some other people who have an Xbox stream and ask them. Because yeah, I'm not the best information on that. Sorry, I play computer games and I cook food. But yeah, I hope I answered the best I could for you, Karim. I don't think capture cards are all that expensive either, so you should have a small fan on your laptop too to keep it cool. Yeah, the way my laptop is positioned, it's kind of hard to. I actually set it on a bed of ice before to use that as a cool. Granny Butter cooks for the Washington State Capitol and has multiple food trucks and some restaurants, so she got me into cooking. So yeah, food trucks, man. I've been trying to get a food truck. One day I will. Hey, Graham McButters, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've wanted to do a food truck for years. I have a really good buddy down the road from me that has a food truck. He's pretty successful with it and does a fantastic job. I met a couple of the local food truck guys, one of them being this guy called Mo Bowles, and he has like 8-9 different types of macaroni and cheeses in their specialty type. He's a really cool cat, and I've hung out with him downtown a couple of times, and he gave me a tour of his food truck, and I'm going to get a hold of him and my other buddy this summer and try and either do some live stream out of one of their food trucks or at least get some video footage with them and hanging out, and maybe do a YouTube video with all of them and show you guys the inner workings of some food trucks and how they work. The Doods Foods is always my concept idea for a food truck name, but that hasn't happened yet, so it's always just my concept name for cooking. So we have our channel, The Doods Foods. And to answer your question, Karam, if you manage to have a camera, you run the camera through your OBS system on your computer, and the capture card would link to the OBS system, and it would all go through that. So yeah. So now that we killed some time and let some stuff cook and answer some questions. Always happy to answer questions, and we can keep answering more. I'm going to switch our camera over to here. You have that trademarked? Yes, sir, I do. But yeah, so you got the bacon here, and what we're doing for candied bacon is taking brown sugar. We have the bacon cooked off to nice and crisp. Now you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of the brown sugar over top of your bacon, and this is what's going to make it candied. Yeah, no problem, Karen. Glad I could help you out. Yeah, basically, Karen, what I did is I spent like 2 days just watching non-stop YouTube videos of how to make OBS system work and how to make it. There's a lot of great tutorials out there on YouTube and stuff, and so I just watched a whole bunch of those, hours and hours and hours of video, and learned how to put it all together, and that's how you see what we got here. Bacon, brown sugar on top. We're going to throw it in the oven now for about 5 more minutes. I want to switch our camera over. Alright. So there's our tri-tip. Alright, we might be a little much cooked on the thinner side there, but tri-tip is done. You can feel it. You see the bloody coming out. It's nice and soft there. A little more cooked over here than it is on this side. That is okay. You'll have that sometimes, and we're going for as best we can. But at the same time, since we're demonstrating and talking, and we're learning with household equipment as opposed to commercial kitchen equipment. So yeah. Let's see if we switch the camera. I'm gonna get a camera guy here one of these days, guys. Let's leave it on this cam for just a moment. That way we have everything and I don't miss something. Alright, so we're gonna carry this bad boy over to our cutting board here. Let's make our cutting board our main focus. Now we get to use our big boy butchery knife, the nice long carve. We're just going to cut it straight in half first just to see how she looks in the middle on that nice thick part. Look at that. We might have gone a little past our mark. We're probably closer to a medium than we are a medium rare. That's okay. And the super thick part, it was a little closer to the medium rare. But yeah, I'd probably call that a medium if you were to be served this at a restaurant. But that's okay because it's going in our steak or on our mac and cheese. It'll be fine. So we're going to continue carving that up. I just want to see our cheese real quick and make sure it's not getting ruined. Grand McButters want to know how to make an amazing dipping sauce for like egg rolls and stuff like that. Sure, man. Always happy to hear or see a new recipe idea. Oh boy, look at this cheese melting down. That's the good stuff. Let's see what this tastes like now. Look how stringy that is, just sticky. Oh yeah. It just tastes like a bunch of great melted cheese and flavor. So what we're also going to do then, while we're over there, we'll get to that in a moment. That's our seasoning. So, okay, timer's on for the bacon. Cool. So we'll switch back to here. Nope, back to here. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve this up into some slices. We're going to basically dice this up to bite size. We're doing a macaroni and cheese bake. So it's never fun to have like big chunks of steak in your mac and cheese. You always like nice spoonful or fork-sized, bite-sized pieces. So again, working against the grain, right? Just like we talked about. Cutting slices off. As you see, as we get closer to the edge, it's more well done towards the edge. But that's okay. One of the great things about tri-tip is it is a wonderful piece of meat. So even if you do overcook it, it's still just a great piece. Look at all that blood coming out, though. I mean, that nice thick center part, we didn't overcook it. We're fine. So a couple of nice slices. We haven't even tasted this yet. Let's see how this tastes. Guys, oh my god. You can taste the sweetness of the molasses that I mixed into the marinade. The Worcestershire, the outside of the meat has a slightly gooier texture of your molasses and your soy sauce and stuff melting in. Oh my god. So now that we got our pieces lined out, now I'm accustomed to using my tongs as a pair of fingers, so I use them to hold everything like that. Oh, that's our bacon. Let's switch over and see our bacon real quick, shall we? This looks so good. Yeah, Sonic does. Wow, that looks good. Yeah, Caddy Lee does. Thank you. Yeah, it's looking around. Shut up, stove. All right. Woo, that's some good-looking candy bacon. You know what? I want a little more crisper, a little more brown. That was 5 minutes. I'm gonna dump off some more of the grease. I'm gonna put it in for 3 more minutes, and we're gonna do it in small increments. Because if you do it in like, hey, let's do another 5 minutes, well, if it starts burning at 4 minutes and 15 seconds, then it's got 45 more seconds of burn. And now you just ruined it. So let's switch back over here, back to our steak. Look at that. So, and it works out well for your friends depending on how you want to serve this. You got your nice medium rare to medium section. You got your medium well to well done section. You really, because the way the tri-tip was thicker at the top and thinned out, you really got a section of meat for everybody. So if you wanted to, you could slice it up and serve it over top of the mac and cheese. But what we're going to do is put it inside it and bake it all together. Because why not? So, excuse me. So we're just going to use tongs here as our fingers. Like I said, we're just going to cut off a nice little piece of heaven right here. Guys, go home and make this right now. Go to your grocery store. Go buy this. And make it right now. It's amazing. Yeah, tri-tip is one of my favorite types of roast of steak. Obviously other than like prime rib. But if you're talking about like round eye, if you're talking about or top round or an eye round, not round eye, eye round. If you're talking about eye round and top round and bottom round and chuck roast, I find it a little more worthwhile to shell out the extra buck for the tri-tip over the sirloin. I will take top sirloin, that is. No, not filet mignon. But if you have the choice of top sirloin or tri-tip, I recommend tri-tip. It is one of my personal favorite roasts, steaks, and cuts of meat. And also, if you saw this one, it was kind of marinated, so you didn't really. But when you buy them from the store, they take a big fat cap off. And I got to know the butcher, and I didn't get time to do it for this. But you can talk to your butcher and ask him to leave the fat cap on. You'll pay a little bit more for the weight, but the fat cap is this big, thick piece of fat that lays over the top of the tri-tip like a cap. And when you cook that, when you cook it like that and you leave that fat cap on top, all that delicious grease and everything melts down on top of the steak, or on top of the roast, and melts into it and flavors it. When the butcher cuts it off and you get served it without the fat on top, it's still just a grated piece of meat, but you don't get that little bit of awesomeness, you know what I mean? Ooh, almost touched our skillet. One thing you want to do, let's switch to our triple cam here so we don't miss a thing. So always set this to the back once you're done, because it's hotter now. And, excuse me, you don't want to do what I just almost did and about grab it thinking it's okay, because it's not okay. Oh, I didn't set the timer right. Okay. Oh. And that looks like some done candied crisp bacon. The next thing to do with this bacon is I have some paper plates here, and I like to set my bacon on paper plates to help soak grease. Maybe I don't have paper plates. Oh, I do have paper plates. I thought I did. Alright. Oh, that steak looks so good. I'm going to end up eating it all before it makes it to the mac. So, take candied bacon. Oh my gosh. It looks so good. Put that to the side. Put that pan in our sink. Let's check out how our cheese sauce is doing. Let's move our cheese sauce over too. Since we are now done with those two sides. You know what? That's right. That's not the most levelest of spots. I'm going to be fixing that here in the coming week soon. So hopefully that won't be a problem for us anymore. Check out this mac and cheese. Look at that. Yeah, there's a couple extra little chunks in there. So this little extra stirs for. Now what I do have is I have some black pepper and a little bit of cayenne pepper. And we're going to put just a dash of cayenne pepper into here. Just to spice it up a little bit. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Just that little touch. McButters, did you see what I said about the sauce? Oh, yes, I saw what you said about the sauce. 3 or 4 chipotle, chili, cup of honey, salt, thyme, blend it all together, and it's amazing. Yeah, man, that sounds fantastic. Sorry about that. I was kind of lost myself making things here. But yeah, that sounds really delicious. I'll have to write that down. Well, I have the chat all saved, so I will look into that for sure. Dipping sauce for like egg rolls. That does sound like a good egg roll. I'm not the best Chinese cook. I got a buddy who's a sushi chef, and he makes some Chinese food, and he's pretty bomb at it. And I will be featuring him on the stream here in the coming weeks when we get some sushi equipment, so that me and him will demonstrate some sushi for you guys. How to roll it, how to make it. Oh man, that cheese sauce is so good, guys. So we're gonna switch over to stove cam, labeled prep cam. All right. Next on the list is to take our noodles that we had refrigerating, right? We're going to go over to our prep cam area and work on everything over here so you guys have a better view of what we're doing. Oh yeah, Mamie Jane, how's it going? Good to see you. McButters, making sushi is my favorite thing to make. Yeah, I've personally never made it, but my buddy used to make it professionally and sell. He had his own company, and some things happened, and partners and whatnot, and no, he's not, but no fault of his own. He's a victim of the restaurant industry and other people. So I got our baking pan here. Sonic, I would love to see tomato soup made on here with some awesome grilled cheese. I'm assuming you watched that one then, yeah, Sonic? If you haven't, and if you have seen the video, then cool, go check out our video. If you haven't, I did make tomato soup with some grilled cheese, and it's on YouTube. I have the video on YouTube. I think it's still here on our Twitch page as well. And that came out really well. Go to his YouTube channel. He made it. Yeah, yeah. It came out really awesome. So here's our noodles. Got that laid out in the pan. Wait, you made it? Yeah, Sonic, I thought you were kidding at first, but yeah, no, I made a homemade oven roasted tomato soup with a bomb-ass grilled cheese sandwich. If you haven't seen it, check out my YouTube page. I gotta go, but I'll catch you later, Grumpy McButters. Right on, man. Hey, thanks a lot for coming, dude. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. We're here every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So check us out on Wednesday. We're gonna be doing meals for under $10. We're gonna be doing a baked ziti this week. So come on, check it out. Sonic, that's funny that you didn't know. If you go to YouTube, we have a YouTube channel called The Doods Foods, and I have some videos on there, and I have a live video. I haven't been able to do edit. I just started learning to edit, so none of those original stream videos are edited. So it's about a 2-hour video or so of just live streaming and making tomato soup and grilled cheese, and it is awesome. I have the recipe posted on there. Sonic, find us on Facebook. I don't know if you do Facebook. I have a Twitter page. I'm working on social media. Oh my God, there's so many. But find us on Facebook, and I have all the recipes posted on there right now. I'm working on getting a blog page together where all of them will be nice and listed and easy to see and find. And I'm going to build a recipe book page and all that fun stuff. Yeah, check out the YouTube video. Also on the YouTube video, excuse me, if you haven't checked out YouTube, like and subscribe to our channel. And I've also been making new videos that I learned how to edit. And the new videos that I've been making, I just made one yesterday of the Dude's Burgers. I made a grilled cheeseburger, but just amazing. I used Doritos, and I put bell peppers in it. And, I mean, we stuff it with cheese. We cook it on the grill outside. It was a lot of fun. Championship football. Yeah, we had a good time. So yeah, if you haven't checked out our YouTube page, I also have the link to our YouTube right down there. If you just scroll down and look at our buttons, you'll see one that says YouTube, and just click that. That'll take you to our channel. Subscribe to it, like it, and check out our videos, because we got some cool stuff on there. And we got plenty more coming. We just got started with this stream, and we got all kinds of stuff coming. So we got our noodles in the pan. Next, we're going to put some of our nice steak. We're going to kind of mix that, just kind of around it with it, right? Tri-tip all over it. Oh, it looks so good, guys. So good. Okay, so we're going to set this light to the side. And now we're going to pour our cheese sauce over. The moment you've all been waiting for, the sauce. So with this sauce, the one last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper, because cayenne pepper is awesome, and I love it. I love the spice. This is a fresh new container, because I've used up the last of my other one. That's how much I use it. So just a little bit. Little goes a long way, guys. It's cayenne. It's hot. And if you do it this way by dumping a little in your hand as your measurement, make sure you wash your hand really well, and do not wipe your face with that hand. It's a terrible mistake. When I was 16, I started working in the kitchen when I was 15 as a dishwasher. And when I was 16, I got to do pantry and prep. And one of the things I got to prep was the banana peppers. And so we had these long banana peppers, and we had a sausage stuffing for them. And everybody in the kitchen, nobody used gloves when you mixed it, because you just, I don't know, at that time you just hurried up and did it, right? So I didn't think about it. I made these peppers, and I stuffed them. It's like 2 hours of stuffing banana peppers and everything, hot banana peppers, and I get done all stuffing them. I thought I washed my hands really good. I take off for a bathroom break. That'll be the last time you will ever work with hot peppers barehanded ever again in your life. Do it once, go to the bathroom, never do it again. You'll wear gloves. That was a hot day. So a little cayenne in there. That's just the right spice. I didn't add any garlic to this. We really didn't need any, but why not? We'll put just like a tiny little pinch. Maybe dump a little bit of that juice in there, huh? From the jar. Just for fun. So now we dump it on top. Is cayenne pepper the only veggie you're using tonight? This looks so awesome. Is cayenne pepper the only vegetable that we're using tonight? That's a really good question. Yeah, hey, good call. Cayenne's a vegetable, so, we're using veggies tonight. We're being healthy. Still see a couple of those chunks of Gruyere in there. Didn't quite melt down. That's okay, though. Look at that. Just going to dump it all on top, because what else am I going to do with this cheese sauce, right? I mean, I guess you could save it and make a cheesy dip out of it. You can make a queso out of this cheese. But we're just going to dump a load of it all over the place. And just mix it in. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I like to play with my food. I was always told not to play with your food, but I like to play with my food. And now I'm an adult and I can play with my food all I want, which is the greatest thing ever. It's funny, when you're a kid, they're always like, you first grow up and your mom will take the spoon and be like, open up for the choo-choo train, eat the food, and or here comes the airplane, boo, and they'd fly the food in your mouth. You're like, oh, you're a little kid and you eat the food, And so then, and then a couple years later, you're sitting there playing with your broccoli or something, and you're flying around with it, and your mom's like, hey, don't be playing with your food. Don't play with my food. You taught me for the first 3 years of my life to play it like an airplane, and now you're telling me I can't play with it now that I can play with myself. This ain't fair. Come on, guys. So you gotta pick one or the other, Either play with the food or don't. This is that super sweet spatula that Draco donated to us tonight that we desperately needed. It's a great thank you. Looks so good. Garlic is a veggie too. Not yet. We got garlic. This looks amazing, Sonic. Yeah, it does, Sonic. Always tradition. Lick the spatula. If you don't lick the spatula, you're not a professional. That's just how. It's just part of the law, really. I didn't make the rules. I just have to use them in the kitchen, So here's our baked dish, but we're not quite done yet. No, not yet. Almost. So we're going to go back to our cutting board here. The only problem being is we cut our meat up on it. So what we're going to do is, the reason why these cutting boards are cool, since that steak was cooked and it's good, we're going to wipe it off. And this is something you can only do in home kitchens. Never do this in a commercial kitchen, because and I just dipped my hand right in the sauce. Awesome. But this is something that you don't do in a commercial. So you wipe the cutting board off, and hey, look, it's a fresh, clean cutting board. I'll be darned. I'm gonna clean my knife off real quick. All right. So now we're gonna take our candied bacon that we did earlier, right? Oh, look at that. We gotta taste it now. Oh, it's all good. You know how you know when bacon is good? Is after you cook, when you have the bacon done, and it just snaps. When your bacon just snaps and comes apart, that's how you know your bacon is perfect, right? It's not black. Snaps off easily. That's a perfectly cooked bacon, So, oh, it's so good, guys. We're going to stack it all up. Tip of the knife blade down. Fingers curled in. Hey, we got $5 from Amy Jane. Right on. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. So fun to watch. Oh, thank you. Yeah, as you see, we hit our goal. And so we're going to be doing another stream this week. And I haven't figured out what yet. We're going to work on it, but thank you so much. So back to cutting bacon. Sorry, I always get excited for that. That's great. You take your bacon, knuckles curled in, tip of the knife blade down, forward slicing motion. Get a perfect chop on your bacon. Slide that to the side, take your last little bit, kind of push it into its own little pal, knuckles curled in, tip on the board. The knife should not leave the cutting board. And there you go. So our candy, excuse me, I'm getting a little burpy. Our candy bacon is done. So move that back in front. And I'll just kind of sprinkle it on top. Doesn't that just look awesome? Just candy bacon, tri-tip steak, mac and cheese. But we're still not done. We still got a little more to go on this. Because we've got tomatoes to chop, we got green onions to cut. What? I know, right? Got all kind of stuff to top finish this thing. So now you do that. Last thing we'll do, get a little bit of shredded stuff. Just kind of sprinkle it on top. I know like we need more cheese, but what the hell. We have it, right? Oh yeah, perfect bacon dish. Let's put it in the oven for just a couple of minutes. We don't need it very long. Just enough to heat up, kind of cook, get good. Set the timer, we'll do like 5 minutes. While that does that, we'll work on our tomatoes and green onions. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, gotta clean that off there. Let's get that out of here. Oh, Joe's Life, what's up? Just got here. What's up, man? Oh, you've been missing some good cooking, dude. We have mac and cheese, tri-tip, candy bacon. We just piled it all into the oven. We're not done yet, though. We still got some veggies to chop. Yeah, speaking of veggies, we got veggies in this stream. We just haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, we got tomatoes and we got green onions. So. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. No vegetables. We got vegetables for garnish. But you know, Joe's Life. I'm about to pull this out of the oven here in a couple of minutes, and you're gonna go buck wild when you see it when I pull it out. But until then, what we got right now is we got some tomatoes we got to chop up. Oh, I wonder if I can see if I can do this. I'm getting a little shaky. I'm trying to move that, and then I can move that. Yeah. I know it doesn't look different for you, but for me, that really kind of helps. Alright. So, I cut my tips off. Tip of the knife down, forward slide. I don't have the gutter. Some people have a little gutter. You can take those out. You can use the tip of your knife. If your knife's not really sharp, that can be really dangerous, and you can slide right through the tomato and go right into the palm of your hand. So I don't recommend that way. I recommend slicing the tip off and just cutting it that way. I have been a victim of the one trying to cut it like this, and you'll be going like that trying to get it out, and then it just slices right into your hand, and then you just have a big gnarly cut up your hand, and it's awful. Working in this industry for 15 years, you will definitely get cut. You will definitely learn how to deal with it, and you will learn that super glue is your best friend. Anytime you get cuts on the finger, get it to stop bleeding, and once it stops bleeding, douse it with super glue. once the super glue dries, wrap a piece of paper towel over it, duct tape it, and get back to work. Because you got customers to feed. That's pretty much standard. Best part about the super glue is when you wash your hands, the cut doesn't sting or burn. It helps keep it disinfected and keeps stuff out of it. So when you wash your hands, you're not burning. It doesn't sting. Where if salt touches it, it doesn't sting because it's sealed up with super glue. And then obviously you don't want a super glue cut nasty hand touching food, so instead of a band-aid, because they don't work for crap in the kitchen, you wrap it with a paper towel. Hold the paper towel on, you wrap it with a strip of duct tape, and then put a glove on it. And go get my French fries, because this order's got to get out the door right now. That's what the YouTube video is for, right? So I can go back. Yeah. That's so yeah, I will post this on YouTube after I am done, and you can go ahead and watch the YouTube video. And I learned how to edit. So I'm going to go back to all the other ones and kind of edit them and clean them up a little bit so it's a little more streamlined to see kind of what you want to see to cook. And I'm going to do some editing with this video too, so we can, when I make the YouTube video, it'll be a little more direct of what we're cooking. You know what I mean? So when you take your tomato, I like to start with the back of the knife and just backward slide. You should only have to do one motion to slice your tomato. You should never have to do a back and forth saw or anything like that. If you have to do that, that means your knife is not very sharp and you're not going to get a very clean cut. I'm going to let this go just another minute or two. So yeah, when you're slicing the tomatoes, you just want to tip at the back of it and just slice back. And when you dice them, I do 2 at a time. Tip of the knife down, forward slide. I rotate the tip of the knife down, forward slide. And that's why you have a sharp knife. You see that? When you go to do the slide and it catches and it drags it with you, that's how you get cut. That's why you keep your knuckles underneath, so when it catches and goes, you can't cut your finger. And that's why you make sure your knife is sharp, so that that doesn't happen. This knife is pretty sharp, but it could use a little bit of a hone. As far as I'm concerned, the knife is never sharp enough. You could have the most razors of edges of sharpness, and I'll still want it sharper, because I like a nice sharp knife. So here's our tomatoes. I cut up 3 of them. I don't know if I need to do that many, but I got carried away. Why not? And the next thing we'll do is we got some around here on my table. We got some green onions. So Joe, welcome to stream again. And anybody else who may have just be joining us, something that I ask viewers at the beginning, and since Joe hasn't gotten an answer yet or not, is I always ask people, what did you have for dinner yesterday or today or later this week? Do you have anything good? Is it tasty? Let me know how it was. I always like to know about your food, about what you're eating. So, green onions, leeks down. Again, I'm going to go over this all the time, just for new people and just to always reiterate. Fingers curled in, tip of the knife down. Knife does not leave the cutting board. Tip stays down, forward slice. Alright, that sounds like our mac. So let's pour veggies to the side here. And let's grab, where's my pot holders? Joe, you had pizza, right on. Did you make the pizza? Did you get it from a local place? Is it local delivery? Is it chain? You know what? It's just getting to its sweet spot. So, we're going to let it go a little longer. I know, guys. The anticipation is just there. I know, I can feel it. You're all so excited, just ready. Something else we can do while we're waiting for this is I have another skillet here because I have tons of cast iron skillets, because if you've watched the stream and you know me, you know that I love cast iron. I love yard sales. I love to get my cast irons from yard sales for super cheap. On that note, do you have any ideas of how to make a cheap frozen pizza into something amazing? Just frozen. It's a pretty good idea, Joe's Life. You know what? I like it, Joe. I do. There's lots of ways that you can class up a frozen pizza. Hell, we could probably even do that on a $10 stream one day too. Yeah, you know, get vegetables, you know, onions, bell peppers, black olives, pepperoni, Canadian bacon. Pan fry some of it and put it on before you bake it in the oven. Put your own cheese on it. What I've done before is I've taken pizzas and just ripped the entire topping off and just made my own topping. Just used the shell, you know. There's all kind of things you can do. So I got these Kaiser rolls. If you watch my YouTube channels, I did a burger over the weekend yesterday, and I used these Kaiser rolls for it, so I have some left over. So I'm going to use them for this stream. We're going to talk about them. The kids aren't home, so I don't have to cook. Big avocado in half with eggs baked in them. Turmeric, pepper, salt, topped with salsa and plain yogurt. Excuse me. That is quite the unique dish. It sounds good. I know of turmeric. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Somebody's probably making fun of me right now as we speak. But it sounds god-awful familiar. I can't for the life of me picture it. But I'm betting it's fantastic, though. So we're going to make some garlic toast. And I'm going to use Sonic. Pay attention, yo. Remember, you were asking about the tomato soup and the grilled cheese sandwiches, right? Well, what I'm about to do as part of this garlic toast is part of the way I butter and season my bread for the grilled cheese sandwich. So if you watch the tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich stream, you will see this there. But this is so if you're making a grilled cheese sandwich, instead of just adding butter, you're going to do this trick the way I'm going to do it. I make my garlic toast the same way I make my butter spread for my grilled cheeses, because basically a grilled cheese should just be a piece of garlic toast with cheese, right? I mean, let's be real here. Garlic's everything. So if you're making grilled cheese and grilled cheese is bread, that bread should be garlic bread, right? So, excuse me. So with that being said, woo, we're looking good. So with that being said, we're going to, yeah. Garlic is everything. Garlic is life. Yes. So that's why it's kind of crooked, because my camera's kind of crooked. Haha. So when making garlic toast or when making grilled cheese sandwiches, I use mayonnaise instead of butter. It's more flavorful, and mayonnaise is primarily oil-based, and so it works the same way as butter. It's just different. And when you're cooking for friends or family and you're hanging out and you're making grilled cheese sandwiches and you start using mayonnaise instead of butter, you can sometimes blow people's mind. They're like, "What are you doing? You ain't putting butter on that?" "No, man, I'm putting mayonnaise." "What?" "I know. It's a whole new concept." Not a whole new concept. It's been around forever, but it's just it's something a little different that I've always I adopted years ago and have always stuck with. It's just always been a favorite of mine. So, mayonnaise on the bun. Turmeric is used lots in Indian food, natural pain relief. I'll be right over for your mac and cheese. Yeah, oh, okay, so Indian food, that's where it sounds familiar from. Alright, so we got some garlic powder. I'm just going to sprinkle a little garlic powder over top. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Romano cheese. This is shredded Romano cheese. Or not shredded, but powdered. And that's our mac. And I think it's done this time for real. So I'm going to slide this to the side, because I'm just going to debut this real quick. But we're still not done. But I just want to debut it out of the oven to show you guys. Oh my god. my gosh. It's so good looking. Look at that. Oh man, it's sizzling. Buddy. Cheese is sizzling and bubbling. And it just looks oh so amazingly good. Onions are the start to an amazing dish worth eating. Yes, every dish should start with olive oil, garlic, and onions, and then possibly bacon. So, to finish this, so now your bacon's crisp on top extrally, cheese is melted on top beautifully, the noodles are inside, we got diced tomatoes to sprinkle all over top, we got green onions to add a little color, make it look pretty, some more tomatoes, and a little more of the green onions. And then what I do have, I should have gotten fresh, but I didn't. But I do have some dried stuff of somewhere here. Parsley. There it is. Sprinkle a little parsley, put a little extra greenery on top for the look. And then last but not least, I know there's a lot of cheese already, but it's macaroni and cheese, so I mean, can you really have too much? A little bit of cheese on top there. Gotta get garlic bread sprinkled better on bread than just garlic powder. Using actual garlic on it works great. Draco, what's up, man? Here, that was me knocking 30 minutes. I did not hear. Joe's Life, I'm not a bacon fan. Joe's Life, you're not a bacon fan. But really, you can keep that bacon off it. Really? Oh, man. You're breaking my heart, buddy. You're breaking it right in the feels. But that's okay. You know, to each their own. Everybody likes everything. One of my super awesome aunt, she's a vegetarian, and we don't judge. We don't mind. Everybody loves their own thing, and what's great about being a vegetarian too is I get to learn other cool dishes and other great things about vegetarian dishes to continue making. So this is and we're gonna do a vegetarian dish one of these days just for fun, because you can make them really spectacularly good. Look at that! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's so good. Apex 1 is now following. Hey, what's up, Apex 1? Good to see ya. Thanks for the follow. You can have my bacon. Amy Jane don't like the bacon either. This is a bacon hating comment section right now. Yeah, more bacon for me. All right. So Draco, if anybody has any bacon that they don't like, you can just send it over to Draco. Draco would be more than happy to eat the bacon for you. He's a bacon man. Our mac and cheese just looks so good. So what I'm going to do with it now is the oven is off, but I'm going to set it inside the oven just to let it stay warm while we do our grilled cheese here, or not grilled cheese, but while we do our garlic toast. I never knew how elaborate mac and cheese could be, right? Yeah, you know, you can make mac and cheese. You know, you can put a lot of effort into mac and cheese, you know, and that's why we do these streams, because I feel like anybody can make a lot of this stuff, and especially using Velveeta and things of that nature. But that's why I want to do videos like this, because you can have fun in your own kitchen making stuff. You can really go crazy. More bacon, yeah, adult style mac and cheese. So we'll sprinkle a little bit of the Romano cheese on top of our garlic toasters here, and then a little bit of black pepper. And buddy, that's the dog over there. So since Thomas over there called me out on not using garlic, I'm going to use some garlic, the real garlic then. So take that, and you take your piece and spread it on there. You happy there, Thomas? Do we make the garlic bread a little better for you now? Are you not entertained? There you go. So spread that garlic good and deep in there. Get it nice and flavored up. I know this is not just mac and cheese. This is amazing. We're not too tired watching the... What? Hi, buddy. Thank you, Thomas. What? Huh. So... garlic, Romano, mayo, black pepper, and a little garlic powder, which we didn't need because then we added garlic afterwards. But you can't have too much garlic, so we're okay on that note. I think that'll be our garlic toast. So I'm gonna get our pan hot over here, which I didn't do. Oh, they make a garlic bread sprinkle in a jar. Really? That's cool. I'm curious how much they charge for that, because the problem with gimmicks like that, Thomas, I'm gonna help you save a buck and show you how to be that much cooler. Excuse me, when you're cooking for friends and buddies and girlfriends, and so that's cool that they have a garlic bread seasoning like that. But all garlic bread seasoning is garlic powder, salt or seasoning salt, Laurie's, Johnny's, any kind of seasoning salt, and black pepper. And then whatever other seasonings you want, be it spices or anything of that nature. So when you buy a garlic seasoning shaker or garlic bread seasoning already, sometimes they'll try and upsell you on the idea that it's a garlic seasoning, whereas you can make your own garlic seasoning and put it into a empty salt shaker or something like that, and then you can have your own garlic seasoning, and with whatever flavors you want. You can mix Romano, the powdered Romano in it. You know, you can mix cayenne in it. I also recommend a little less on the salty side if you're going to use Romano or something, because Romano is already salty. That's why there's no salt on this. Why I use garlic powder as opposed to garlic salt. So yeah, Thomas, I'm curious to check out that garlic bread sprinkle for sure. But if you just want that little extra zinger, man, just go ahead and kind of mix up your own little blend, you know, using this recipe here, or send me a message later and we can talk. And then when you pull out your garlic bread seasoning, where'd you get that garlic bread seasoning? Dog, I made it. You know, it's just, you can have that much more fun with it and be that much coolerly entertaining when you have guests over or something. Hey, crazy idea I just had. Do you think you could make a garlic bread out of a bagel? Yeah, of course you could. Use the garlic bread idea, put it on the bagel, and then toast your bagel. Buddy. So now we got our pan heating up over there. Alright, so we got the garlic toast, and we got our pan over here. It's getting nice and warm. Be hot yet? Nope, not hot yet. So we'll keep our buttered over here. Keep them set, keep them ready. Buddy, got the dude over here. Let's see, yeah, I gotta get a special cam for dog cam, right? Dog cam. Bud, hey, stop looking for ground scores. Love you, bud. Yeah, he's the best. Call him the dude. He's when you talk to him and hang out with him, he really is a dude. Huh. Oh wait, let's see if we could switch to there. If we turn on that, and if we adjust this just a little bit right there, we can bring butter. Come here. There we go. Sit. Good boy. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Give me the high five. Oh, there's my dude. Huh. Say hi to everybody up there. Say hi. I know. Yeah, that's Buddy. He's the dude. He's the best guy around. And always when you pet your animals and dealing with food, always wash your hands. Because as much as you love your animals, they're freaking gross. Oh, buddy, yeah, you're freaking gross. Talking to you? Talking to you? Yeah. Alright, this light blinds on that other one, so we're going to click it off. Dog cam. Yeah. Next donation, dog cam. Put it back there. Uh-oh. Oh. I see the problem we had, why that didn't get hot. Part of why I need to fix this bottom piece and get a new one. Because even though it was on, apparently it wasn't plugged in. There we go. Now we're going to get hot. Yeah. Dog cam. Yeah, if you haven't been here before, though, I got a new piece for my burner. Apparently, there's two types in the same size, but they're two different makes, and one doesn't fit and the other one does, and I got the one that didn't fit, naturally, of course. That's just how everything always works. So, all right, mac and cheese is perfect. Dog cam. Alright, now we're getting hot. A little bit longer. That's okay. So, since we're just about finished up here with stream, I guess not just about done, we still got a little bit, but any Q&As? I mean, we've been Q&A'ing most of the time, but so yeah, but if there's anything specifically food related that you might have, or stream related, feel free to go ahead and ask. We can try and help you out, find some answers. And also, since there seem to be a nice few of you here, something I need to ask and we can find out is, we have hit our donation goal. We're taking a cheap $3 pizza and making something great out of it on a $10 stream. Joe's Life, that is fantastic, and we're gonna have to do that. This Wednesday I'm doing the baked ziti this Wednesday for the under 10. So maybe I'll keep that in mind for next week. I'll keep my eye out in the grocery store, kind of keep a thought on that. And yeah, that'd be really great. We could definitely pull something off with that. Hell, maybe we could just even make our own dough, make our own pizza for under $10. You know, we could make the whole pizza from scratch. Hell, maybe we'll do both. Maybe I'll spend $20 and I'll make a $10 frozen pizza look awesome, and we'll make a $10 homemade pizza and see which one comes out better, or something like that. Or I don't know, we'll kind of play around with that. Have you used vegan cheese? No, I haven't used vegan cheese. Make your own pizza dough. Yeah, problem is baking in Montana and pizza doughs and stuff like that I'm not super familiar with, and that dough gets closer into the baking realm, which is why I'm more keen on the idea of what Joe said there, taking a frozen pizza, because this is a cooking stream and pizza's cooking, but it's mildly baking too, and I'm a terrible baker. Alright, and here we go. That is the mac and cheese. Right there. Is this right, Cam? There we go. Look at that bad boy. The final topping is Romano cheese. And that is a macaroni and cheese. The recipe is on our Facebook page. Find us on Facebook, The Doods Foods. I'll have the video on our YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube, The Doods Foods. Spelled crooked and wrong. Oh, and I'm burning. Yep, burned it. Ruined it. Alright. And I know what I did wrong there. That was my bad. Looks like bean dip. It does kind of look like bean dip, right? Like the tomatoes and the green onions. And then you get into it and you realize there's definitely no beans. Yeah, I kind of scorched that garlic toast, guys. It's because I had the heat up way too high. But what we can do, go ahead and sizzle that up. Ruined! Yep, it's all ruined. The whole thing. Ruined. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. Remember that. Happy accidents. It's your world. The phone's just going off. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of wiping and cleaning out our pan. Alright. So now I'm going to reset that on low. Since I already showed you how I'm seasoning it, I'll just make one now and show you how to season it. The stove right there. This is your world. Yeah, it is, man. Sometimes when you spend 12 hours in front of that stove, cooking order after order, you're about sick of the world. But then you get off, and everybody tells you how awesome the food was. And you're like, right on. And then you're just happy again. That's what makes it all worthwhile. Like, kitchens, like commercial kitchens are super stressful. And it's a lot of hard work. It doesn't matter what kitchen. I mean, if you're talking about the Applebee's down the street, the mom and pop restaurant, all the way to the 5-star restaurant, it doesn't matter if they're selling a $6 cheeseburger or if they're selling a $30 filet mignon. The cook that's in that kitchen is working just as hard as the guy making the filet mignon, as the guy doing the burger deal. Kitchens are a really rough and tough place when you get really busy in bigger ends. And as years go on, kitchen help gets less and less, and there's less people to help in the kitchen, which means you're stuck doing more and more hours and more work for yourself and less reliable people. Which is why I really enjoyed cooking on stream with you guys, because I don't have to be in there. It's all gratifying at the end of the day when your customers tell you how amazing your food is and how awesome it was and everything. And it's really rewarding and feels good. But man, it's a lot of punishment. So tip your cooks, tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, the people working in restaurant industries. There's enough can't be said about how shitty their job can really be. You and your friends and your table was probably nice, and your waitress or server looked good, and your cook was fine, but it's the other 300 people before and after you. Alright, so now we got our toast on a little bit lower. You just need a good waitress helping you out. Yep, good waitress, good waiters, good staff. If you have good staff and everybody's working as a team, you can get through it a lot easier. Some places not so much, and it can be real tough. So what we have now is we have our stove on a little bit lower. We're going to do our garlic toast just right this time now. So Draco in chat, everybody, as you see there, chatting away. That's my sushi chef guy that I know. Homie can whip up some sushi. He was also the savior today who brought us our little rubber spatula. I'm not sure when we'll be doing a sushi stream here in the coming weeks or months or at some point. We're still building the stream together, and we're still building the stream up and seeing how it goes and getting things worked out. As you see, I still have kinks. I'm still burning stuff. And that's kind of part of the home-style kitchen as well, is to show you that happy accidents happen and they can be resolved and fixed. So yeah, as we get a little more established, as we get some of the kinks worked out, a little more comfortable, and as we get a little more equipment, because we need a couple of pieces of equipment to do some sushi, but we will run a fantastic sushi stream. When we start getting into some serious barbecuing outside, when we start making some jerkies and things of that nature, Draco, you'll probably most likely, I imagine, will be hanging out over here helping out with that. One, because I'm asking you as a buddy, and two, because you'll probably just want to, because it's going to be a lot of fun, dude. You know that. So, yeah. I can't post pics, right? Yeah. Yeah, no pictures in the comment thing, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to the summer. We got all kind of ideas planned to do. Why can't I post my sushi pics? Because pictures can't be posted in the chat is why. Draco, if you want, though, you can go ahead and post a couple of those sushis to the Dudes Foods Facebook page, and we can load them onto there, or you can send them to me later and I can load them up onto the page later. I got lots, yeah. I need a couple. Find a couple of your good ones. We'll post them on there. Give everybody a little teaser. Get them all excited. Then we'll be doing barbecue and stuff. Yeah, low and slow. Get a nice grill to it. Nice toast. I'm gonna go grab my camera real quick because this needs to be documented in picture form, because this is just fantastic looking. One second. Sorry about that. I was looking for camera here. Alright. We're going to snap a shot of this for our good old Facebook page. It's just a delicious looking meal. See our garlic toast over here, cooking up just so beautifully. Got a nice golden color to it. So slide this back. Switch cam. I missed how you did this. Can you start over? What's up, Barali? So let me just throw this away real quick, and for Barali, we'll just restart this whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt some cheese. No. Barali, if you missed it, I post all the videos to YouTube afterwards, so you can go ahead and watch it on YouTube. Also, if you haven't been to our YouTube, please check it out. I made a YouTube video. It's about 3.5 minutes long. I made yesterday of some amazing cheeseburgers that I barbecued. I also made another video on Friday of I have this little Hamilton Beach sandwich maker. It's just the coolest little sandwich maker. You can make a slow cooker shepherd's pie. Sure, we could definitely do a slow cooker shepherd pie. Sorry, a little aqua. Yeah, that we could. That'd be really awesome to do. So, like that. Stop hogging all the suggestions, Joe. Yeah. No, I need as many suggestions as I can get. So, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to offer them. So let's try this garlic toast here, huh? Guys, you don't know what you're missing. You need to make this right now because it's amazing. So good. Another thing you can do, Joe, with your cheap pizzas, you take little buns like these, little Kaiser roll buns, and then you take a little can of sauce and put some sauce and a little cheese, a little pepperoni. Make little pizza bites like this too, you know. Just get a whole thing of hamburger buns. It's legit, man. Just fantastic on so many levels. The garlic toast, guys, I'm telling you. I'll write that recipe down for the garlic toast. I'll make a little picture of that, put it to our Facebook page. What's your YouTube channel name? The Dudes Foods Apex 1. Good to see you. I saw you hit that follow button earlier. Thanks a lot. First time in chat, probably. Thanks for sticking around and watching us, man. It's awesome. Joey, you tasted one at all, yeah. And also the YouTube channel name. If you scroll down on my page here, on my Twitch page, if you scroll down, there's a little logo that says YouTube. If you just click that picture, that'll take you straight to my YouTube page. I don't have a whole lot on it, just the videos I made so far, and we're getting more. Excuse me. I'm going to put this video on there as well. Another thing I want to ask for suggestions from as well is, does anybody recommend any free blog websites, or anybody use a blog website? I would like to get a blog website started up here soon, and I'm going to post all the recipes and pictures to that and set that up. So maybe somebody could send me a message later or something like that and see maybe if there's a page I can do that instead of just sending everybody to Facebook. I have the recipes posted there. You can check them out there. It's a little disorganized because it's Facebook, so I am going to work on making an organized blog page and getting that set up with recipes and whatnot. What's a blog, Draco? Blog is those sites where people do like online journals and stuff. So basically, we'd be making an online journal, except for the Dudes Foods, and it'd be an online journal about food, and people can visit it and check out all the recipes and see your sweet, awesome pictures of sushi. Can be posted on there and stuff like that. I put a spoon somewhere. I'm so lost. That's okay. I got another one. Why you? I overslept. Why is Draco yelling? I have a friend with a blog. I can ask him what she does. Yeah, Joe, if you wouldn't mind, why use here? Overslept, man. What's up, dude? So here, I'll slide it in front of the screen for you. This is our mac and cheese, dog. Candied bacon and everything. I'm gonna post the video on YouTube. I'm gonna edit it up a little bit too, so you'll be able to see it. So I'm gonna make a plate of it and dish it out. Look at that. Oh my God. A little bit of garlic. Oh man, it's just so good looking, guys. It's just so good looking.